Hey friends, I'm back with another video. So I have this one character here. His name's Fezzle Will. He's an enchanter. He's level 103. He's still wearing the stuff that you get from when you buy a heroic and make him level 100. I hate to say it, but the gear's not very good. I mean, even with this seemingly decent AUG, the stats on this are not great on this robe. And there's just a lot of the other gear that you get that isn't great. See, this one doesn't even have 2k hit points, and it's only got barely 2000 mana. So I want to make them some upgraded gear, but this is the gear they came with. I think this is actually a weapon though that I made that was better than the weapon they had. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna make level 100 gear. Gonna try to make like a full set, more or less, of at least the visible gear for this enchanter using tailoring, using Fezzlewig. So let's hop over to Fez. And here we are with Fez, and we are gonna make some Chrono Mage gear. Now don't let the name Chrono Mage make you think, oh, that's just for a mage, not for an enchanter. No, it's just for like any magic using class. You right away see here, so it's got like over 200 more hit points. It's got at least 200 to 300 more mana. And it's got a bunch of heroic stats. It's pretty good. I feel like this stuff is pretty impressive. And I was making some of it earlier for another character that had reached 100 and needed upgrades. And the materials that you need for this are relatively easy to get. At least in my opinion, it's pretty easy to craft, easy to get. I am going to run over here to the tailoring merchant and buy a little bit more of some of the thread that I need. I need some soft filament. So let's get a bit more. Type in the word soft here. And I don't know, I'll put in 20. I'm also going to need some more calcified filament. I'm going to type in cal. And there we are. We don't need a whole lot of that, so I'll just buy 10 more of that. And I think I'm good. So a lot of the stuff that you need for this stuff that I'm making is either purchased from that merchant right there, or it's dropped. And the stuff that's dropped is this leather roll, and it's the Ethmir essence. And I believe you get a lot of this stuff. Well, the Ethmir essences, I think you get in Shard's Landing, and the leather roll seems to drop all over Norath off of just random mobs, right? So we're gonna start off with wristbands. I'll open up a bag to put in my completed work, and there we go. We got a wristband. Oh, and wait, I didn't even have my tailoring trophy equipped, so let's do that. See, now it's not even blue to me, it's green. So we got those two. We got the two bracers. Let's try to make the trousers. Now the trousers, you need silk curing chemicals. Let's buy more of that too, actually, because I feel like I'm going to need more for some of the other items. And if there's a failure. All right, so I bought like 20 of them. So maybe we'll just hang out here next to the loom with our tailoring guy there, because we might need to buy more stuff. So the trousers, it's 3 silk curing chemicals, your simple sewing needle, which I'm pretty sure is bought off of him. And let's confirm this. I don't want to give false info. Yep, simple sewing needle. You can buy it off of this Vashir Taylor Kujin here. And you need the leather roll, the ethmer essence, and then the calcified filament. Let's hit combine, and we failed. So let's try once more. Here we go. And as far as the leather rolls and the ethmer essences go, you could set up a buyer in the bazaar and buy it off of other players. There might even be merchants in the bazaar, like players selling this stuff directly. So I always set up a buyer because you usually get it for a much cheaper price. I'm frugal, remember that. So now we need 2 soft filament because we're making the shoes. We need 2 silk curing chemicals, simple sewing needle, the leather roll, ethmer essence, and calcified filament. And there we go, we got the shoes. And well, this is not a visible item, but it's a good item to make. It's a shawl. That's, I believe, the shoulders. So we'll make that. Okay, and that succeeded. And before I get ahead of myself, that was 2 silk curing chemicals, leather roll, ethmer essence, and calcified filament. And it's called Chrono Mage Shawl. So there's a bunch of Chrono Mage stuff that you can make. Oh, here's another one. This is a Chrono Mage sash. So this is a belt. So we'll make that. And that's not a visible item either. That just takes 1 silk curing chemical, leather roll, calcified filament, ethmer essence, and your simple sewing needle. Now the arm wraps. Arm wraps takes ethmer essence, calcified filament, leather roll, soft filament, simple sewing needle, and there we go. Those are sleeves. We need the robe, so let's try for the robe. I'm just going to type in robe, I think. I'll find it. Yes, ether mist robe, or robes, and it's a similar item to the others. It's just got a different name. There might be a Chrono Mage robe. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. So we need some aligned steel thread. We need 2 to craft this. So we'll buy 10 to be safe, to make sure we have enough in case we fail. So simple sewing needle, aligned steel thread, again, bought off of Taylor Kujin here. The leather roll, 2 ethmer essences, and a cloth bolt. So this is a new item, the cloth bolt that we haven't used yet in this video. And that also drops off random mobs all over Norath at all different levels. At least that's what I've seen. But you can also buy it from other players in the bazaar or set up a buyer to buy some. And there we go. We managed to make our robe on the first try. Now, for the gloves, because we're going to try to make gloves, they're a little different. For some reason, you got to blacksmith the gloves. I don't know. There, like I said, there might be some gloves, some Aether Mist gloves, but I'm just going to do it this way. Because, why? Because it worked. It worked, and I was pretty happy with it. So here we are. I found them. I need some metal tempering chemicals to make this. Let's see. Do I have any in my trade skill depot? I do. But for those of you watching, if you go there, you see Blacksmith Gerda right here. This is near the small bank. She does sell the chemicals, okay? But again, this needs to be done in a blacksmith forge. So you might also want to equip your blacksmith hammer, your trophy, because you see here it went blue and now it's green, meaning I have a better chance of success. So the full ingredients you need for the gloves is smithy hammer, water flask, metal tempering chemicals, leather roll, 2 Ethmir essences, and the steel ingot. Steel ingot also drops off many different creatures at many different levels. But again, you can buy it from other players in the bazaar or set up a buyer to buy your steel ingots. And we got the gloves right away. Put it with the other stuff here. And you see, this could be worn by warrior, cleric, paladin, ranger, shadow knight, bard, rogue, shaman, necromancer, wizard, mage, enchanter, berserker. So pretty much anyone can wear these. The stats are fantastic, and it's even got focus effects. Going back to tailoring, because I remembered now what the thing was called that I got to tailor, and we got to make a cap, right? Got to make headgear. So this is the cap of mirrors that we're going to be crafting next. So this uses silk string. I don't really remember where silk string comes from. I think the silk string actually comes from the Fletcher. So let's take a quick look here. Yes, silk string is purchased from the Fletcher. So most Fletchering merchants like Fletcher Lenvale here will have silk string. Then you need simple sewing needle, aligned steel thread, leather roll, 2 Ethmir essences, and a cloth bolt. And there we go, we have our cap. So you see, now we have a full set of visible armor, as well as the shoulders and the belt. And last, we're going to do a back item, which I think it's the Cloak of Realms. It's what it's called. Yeah, here we go. So Cloak of Realms, we need a simple sewing needle, 2 spools of aligned steel thread, a fine feathers, which is a new one. We haven't done fine feathers so far in these recipes here tonight on this video. And this also drops off random mobs all over Norath. You can also buy it from other players in the bazaar. You need 2 Ethmir essences and a cloth bolt. Hit combine, and there we go. So now we have full set of visible armor plus shoulders, back, and waist. Okay? So I hope this helps you. As you see, all of these items have better stats than what my enchanter had. So if you reach level 100, you can make this stuff. I believe I already made a video where I made the jewelry, you know, like a mask and earrings and rings that also are level 100, and I'll be making that stuff for this character as well off my enchanter. If you haven't seen it, you can always try to do a search for it in my catalog of many videos, or if you feel like I should revisit it and do it again, let me know. I don't care, I don't mind. But that's it for today, and I think we're gonna hand this stuff over, and maybe we'll take a quick note of the difference in stats this guy's gonna have with this new gear. Now, I made this for a mage that I have that was wearing stuff from the House of Thule era, okay? And that's like, what, 20 levels? Yeah, 20 levels lower, pretty much, or 15 at least, right? So here we go. Here's Fezzle Will. So let's note that he's got 74,000 hit points. So /note, enter, 74 to 66 HP. And then we'll put the mana here is 68, 134 mana points. Okay, we'll just do that. We'll say that's kind of what they have now, and we're gonna swap the visible gear for this new stuff and see if there's a big noticeable difference. I feel like there will be, again, because I feel like there's a big difference. There's a big difference in the gear. So putting the old stuff in that bag, and some of the stuff here might even have like augs that I can replace and put in the new gear. So got the boots, the robe. So this new robe looks blue. It looks like this. Give him his new cap, shoulders, cape, and a sash. So let's take a look. Is he better off? I think he is. So he was at 75,000 hit points. He's now at 78,000 hit points. I'd say that's a good upgrade. He was at 68,000 mana points. He's now at 72,000 mana points. So he jumped up pretty good on the mana. I'm sure his AC is way better too. I just didn't feel like comparing the AC at the moment. But he's good. He's better off, and I feel like he might not die as quickly. You could just imagine that going from House of Thule gear to this is even a greater jump, and it was on that character that I replaced a bunch of it was like tier 1, 2, and 3 gear that they had, just a mishmash of the different tiers, and it was just amazing. So pretty easy to craft, guys. I hope this video helps you in some way and you found it helpful or informative. You can do a search for a lot of this stuff on EQ Traders or maybe Alakazam, like the Ether Mist robes and the Chrono Mage arm wraps. If you type in Chrono Mage, you'll find half of this stuff. It was called Chrono Mage. But then like Mana Linked Gauntlets was one that was named differently. And then the Chrono Mage Shawl and the Cloak of Realms and then the Cap of Mirrors. So check that stuff out. You could do a search for all of it and get the recipes and stuff if you don't feel like sitting there and jotting things down as I tell you. I try to give as much information as possible, and I expect most people will go to EQ Traders to find the full recipes. But for those of you who don't know what to look for or what the stuff is even called, you may never find the recipes, because believe you me, I take hours sometimes going through different recipes that use certain items and objects to try to find, like, okay, how do I make this? How do I make that? And it's time consuming and sometimes even a bit tedious. So yeah, I do this so you don't have to. If you like what I do here, you like the video, please leave a thumbs up. It really helps me with having my video be recommended to more Everquest players out there. And if you'd like to support me and support the channel, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Better yet, you can hit that little bell icon to get notifications for all my videos, not just the Everquest ones, in case you might find them curious or entertaining in some way. You can also join my channel as a channel member. Channel members get special perks and privileges, like a link to join the private Discord. If YouTube memberships are not your thing, you can check the links below my video here for a link to my Patreon. Patreon patrons get the same perks, like a link to join the private Discord. Sometimes there's some member-only content. You can also leave a super thanks on the video. A super thanks is like a little donation that's like saying, hey Fez, thanks for this video. I appreciated it. I want to thank all my current YouTube channel members and Patreon patrons for your continued support. Those of you who subscribe and then resubscribe month after month are my absolute heroes. Thank you so much. you motivate me to keep on making these videos. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.